All right, we're starting Perek Base. I want to say that if you know someone that would like to get these books, we do have sponsors who are capable of who will buy the books. Buying books and spreading these books around is one of the most important things that we can do. And the kollel itself, the yeshiva, the Malita Tikkun, that's the major job there, is to spread this information and to make the books out there, because the last thing that we want is the people who are now publishing these books bring them to our attention, which is a tremendous, tremendous mila, that they would stop printing them because nobody's buying them. So we have people who will buy the books or contribute for the books. If there's anyone out there that would like this set, just let me know. My phone number, 305-321-6338. Send me a text message. Okay, so now we're going to start out like this. We're going to talk about the tamim. Now, the tamim, according to the Tanta, this is Shaar Tanta, right? The tamim are the highest level. They're the level of Av. So we're going to start talking about the Sag, the Av. Okay, so now let's see what it says. Let's see. I didn't read the top. Let me read the top. So this is the light that's coming out of the chotem of this Adam Kadmon. Sag. So how did we add this up? Sag goes like this. The chotem is 8 rather. That's the ches, plus the vav is 6, that's 14, plus 9, that's the letter tes, that's 23, and 40 makes 63. So we see that the word sag is right there in the word chotem. In the small, so the light also comes out of each nostril. One's on the right, one's on the left. So he's a small. Of a yamin is the makif. So these lights that we're calling, one of them is called the makif, is small panimi, and the left one is called panimi. Derek and nizker be'ozen, the same way that it worked in the ozen, which is on the side of the face. That we had, one was a makif, one was a panimi. V'nimshach beyoser adachazer shel zeh adam kadmon. So they go in a straight line towards this adam kadmon. V'zecho v'ikar ha'or. This is the main part of the light. Amna ma'araso gam came whom is pashat al sada ach. It also goes to the achor, which is the back of the head. Misavev kol savivus adam kadmon. So there is the main concentration is along the coming out of the nose, going along the face, down the middle, much more down the middle than what you had with the light of the ears. Let's look at the light print on number Aleph. He says, "Kavar bi'arnu la'el shebebechinas tamim yeshnam shloshim bedregu shehem tamim elyonim." They're upper tamim that went with the ears. Tamim emseim and tamim tachtoinim. V'hana oras she'atzach min ha'aznaim. Those lights that came out of the ears. Excuse me. Hey bebechinas tamim elyonim. That's the upper tamim. And they're going in a seder. So then they're going down a little bit lower, and they're coming out of the nose. These are called the middle tamim. They come out of the ochotem ach. So this is the second level of the left of the tamim. These are the tamim of the nekudos, the hundred bechinas av the sag. So tamim goes with the word av. And the kudos, these are the kudos of the tamim. Because as we said before, just to keep in mind that all the tanta, each one of the tamim, the kudos, tagim, and osios have a tanta. Each one of them individually has their own tanta. V'hinei le'el, in Perek Aleph, he's in this bar, ki ozen hu b'gematria Noach. It's at 58. V'ima os hey, which you can see there, shenizgalsa ba'orisa ozen, Heim olam yachdav sag. So 58 and 5 makes 63. Amnam ba'oris hachotem, but when we look at the lights of the nose, azay hachotman levado ola b'gematria sag. A chotem by itself, as I had said previously, comes to the number sag. V'ramzim chachal l'shem sag hagam shekan ma'ir bechinas av the sag. So here there's a remiss to the sag, even though we're still talking about tamim. So the tamim is av the sag. Even so, that the sag here, we see that it's bold-faced, so to speak. You could actually see it written in the letters chotem. See, I think like this, is that what he's saying is that these numbers and these letters actually are the base of reality. If you were able to take a microscope and you were able to look into reality, any place in reality, you would somehow find this was the formation of it. It may be very difficult to find it because it's not much there. Kevin Shahacho, who sag the klalo. So once we're dealing with the sag, a general sag. V'shem avdusha b'sag rak nichlal b'kaprat. So here we're dealing with sag, and the av part of this sag is the part that has to do with the tamim. Because remember, asma, which says av, sag, ma'u, ben, that also there is a tamim, they're associated tamim, nekudos, tagim, and oros are also associated with them in a similar, very similar order. Not to seem complicated, just let it be complicated. Because it's just facts that you need to have heard, and we're going to build on them. So let's go down to number base. Kashem sheba oros aznaim yotze or maki or ma'ozen yamim. For panimi me'or small, ve'ozen small. So you had a right and left ear. Kamo came ba'oris hachotim yotzim or maki b'nekev chotim yamin. So you have a right nostril, an ak, and he has a maki type or that comes out of there. Or panimi b'nekev chotim small, and there's a middle light. There's a left hand light that's coming out that which is called or panimi out of the left nostril. Batam yisiyas or hamakif biyamin. So what's the reason why the right side gets this or called maki? Or panimi is small, and the left gets this other light which is called or panimi, or which is called panimi, comes out of the left. Humashem shahamakif hu b'bechinas yoser me'ula min panimi. So this is a fact that we need to keep in mind and understand what he's talking about. Is that the makif is always going to be a much stronger light. Again, talking about negative lights. But it's a much stronger light than light that's a panimi. So we understand a makif means a surrounding light. And later we're going to see what that means. And the panimi means the inside light. Fichach hu yotzim mitzad yamim. So therefore now we see that the right side is adif, is stronger than the left side. Yamim shuchasad yotzim ma'ula, because it's the highest value. That is, that if you had some kind of a measuring device that could measure which is the negative, brighter light, or the more intense light, let's say the more pure light, that's better. The more pure light, then you would have to say that's coming from the right. So we understand that right is more pure than left. Or hapanimi who pachos ma'ulo min or makiv, it has less quality than it's more dense, it's more thick. Vichahu yotzim inside small, so therefore we say that it comes out of the left. Shnei ha'oros halalu hamakiv hapanimi. So these two lights, one called the makif, one called the panimi, the chotem, nimshachem v'yordem adachaz da'ak. So they don't. It's not like where they stop at the beard, at the fulcrum of the beard, as we said before. But they go all the way down to the chest. Now this word, chazeh, is a word that we're going to see a lot, which means the chest or the breast area, but later we'll define it even better. We said that the light of the ear comes down until the fulcrum of the beard. But this light, but it goes further down. So you have a light going like this, and then another one coming right straight down, and it winds up at the chaz of ak. Let's go to number 3. I think we're still in number 3. Yeah. So the igar ha'aras ha'oras ha'chotem ad malkom ha'chaz ak. So we say the main part of the light of the nose going down to the chaz the ak hu b'tzad panim daika. It's specifically on the face. Now, what he's saying right now is a creation, and he said this a couple of times. So this is a creation of the concept of right and left, that there is a difference in the qualities of the light between the right and the left. And now he's also saying there's a difference between the qualities of the front and the qualities of the back. When you hear the Birchat Kohanim, you hear that, it doesn't say, Yisa Hashem Panav or Acharav Elecha. It doesn't say, lift up his back to you. No, it says, let him lift up his front to you. Because the panim is a concept of the majority of the light. The light is pure bracha. But we understand that it's not that there's no light in the back, because there is ha'ara. Ha'ara means a radiance or a glow, let's say. Try to find different words for this. It also goes on to the backside the ak, v'chein b'shnei tzadadav, and also to its two sides. V'ofen shehi misaveves kol tzadadav shel zeha adam kadmon, in a way that it goes around all of the different parts, and all the until there's a glow all the way around Adam Kadmon. But the brightest part of this, and again, it's a caution that it seems to me that it's not bright in the way that the sun is bright. It's a very different. The intensity of the Ein Sof is much greater in the front than it is in the back. Let's go to number Daled up above. Number Daled up above says, "V'hinei kan nizkarvu ha'oros ha'penimium b'makifim shalahem." So here we see that the lights are much closer together, because here you have lights coming out of the nose, and the nostrils are not on the sides of the face; they're right in the middle of the face, right next to each other. B'makifim shalahem yosem ha'oros haznaim, because the yasnaim are distant. Ki nikva ha'choitim smuchim heim, because they're close to each other. But even so, even though the lights are the same, but there's a bridge in the nose, right? And it separates the right from the left. They never come together. So therefore, also with these lights, so as we said in the last year, that the striking of two different kinds of lights together produces sparks, and those sparks produce kalim. But there's no striking here. So what's the difference? The difference is ki os vav shebatoch hey. Remember we said that hey was composed of a daled and a vav, and we had a sort of like a reference to, we understand the number 10, and we could also work with the number 5 in different kinds of ways, but we were able to break it up like that. So that light, that hey, asher ba'ozen choysekululu yimah, so it was a part of the hey. He said, "Nisgalis ata." But now, on the chotem, the letter vav, which again, it's like a bridge in your nose, right? And now it's revealed. You can actually see the vav. It's not part of another letter. Umashe shahoya oz bechinas hey. So what it was at one time, a hey, which had little two different parts to it, but no question it was a hey. Naase ata shtei osios du. Now you can actually see that there are two different letters here. Not one letter, hey, which you could see parts to it possibly, but here you see two distinct letters. I pronounce it du, but it's daled and vav. The horos yitzias os vav l'chutz v'giluyaho. What does this do for us? This shows you now that we have the concept of the letter vav, and it's revealed. V'husod zer anpin shenizgala bekan. So, again, we're going to learn a lot more about Zer Anpin. Zer Anpin is the master parts of that we relate to. Zer Anpin is we'll see. I don't want to jump the gun on that. Let's see. We'll see what the tiv has a long tiv on this. So this is actually the revelation of a very high concept, which is in other words, you're talking about the shorish, the root of the root of the root of Zer Anpin comes out of the nose of Adam Kadmon. V'Rav Amnam Lo na'ases vav levada, but we see that doesn't make a vav by itself. The vav nechleches gam came the shisha holokim, but it's not just a vav. It's a vav with 6 different parts to it. V'hem shisha holofim. What are the 6 different parts? There are actually 6 different olives. Now, right now, I'm thinking, olives in a vav? How'd that go? How do we see that? This olive's a very mysterious, very powerful letter. Let's go over here and let's start on number Daled on page Yud Tes, light print. It said, "Bi'arnu la'el in Perik Aleph, ki oros haznaim yatzim ruchakim b'yoseh zeh bezeh." They were extremely distant from each other. Zeh mitzad yamin upon him, zeh mitzad small upon him. One is on the right side of the face, the other is on the left. V'hinei oros hachotim yatzim kurovim zeh lezeh yosim oros haznaim, but they're much closer to each other. They're right in the middle together. The hiyosha nikva al-choitim yamini v'smoli, so we know that the openings of the nose, right and left, heim smuchim zeh lezeh, they're next to each other. Rak sheyeshnu dofen hamavdil bein shnei hanekavim. The only thing that we know, as I said before, is there's a wall between the two of them. That wall's serious, and it divides them. V'adayim ein zeh nekev echad, so we see because of the wall, it's not just one opening. So we're going to see when we talk, their lights are going to come out of the mouth also. And there's going to be a phrase that we're going to coin here. The Rav is going to go. It's called Ozim Chotem Peh, or Achap. So we're going to see that you can talk about Achap, but we haven't got to the Peh yet. Now let's talk about the nose. And so since we see that the lights of the nose are coming from two different places, they're close together, but they're definitely different. And they're not curvy, they're going straight. So therefore they never meet. How do you make a kli? You make a kli as a result of striking the right side, that is the or makif for the or panimi. They're going to strike each other. They're going to make a kli as a result of that. So here we see that because of the fact that you have two nostrils, not just one, and they're divided, and those lights go straight down from where they came from. They may be traveling right together, but on the other hand, they're separate, so they touch each other. They don't strike each other. So over here, we also don't have a revelation of the concept of kalim. Now let's go to the hay in the light print. He says, Kavar biano, so we've already explained, Ki achotem hu begematria sag. So we added up chotem, and we saw that it comes out to be 63. Lumas ozen shirak b'tziruf hay ola begematria sag. So we understand that this is all dealing with the av the sag. So, or the sag, the av, whatever, I don't know which way we want to say it. He called it the av the sag. So at any rate, we're dealing with the tamim, which are the av, and the sag part of it. So we see that both of these two have a sag, but this, in the case of the ozen, you had to add a hay onto the 58 in order to make it a sag. V'hu lahoros sheba'oris hachotem. So here you don't have to do that. The chotem itself comes out to be 63. So he says v'hu lahoros sheba'oris hachotem hoya gilui yoser godol ma'oris haozen shehem stumi ma'od. The lights. So let me translate it his way. So as that is to show us that the lights of the ears, the lights of the nose, are much more revealed. They're lower. Your nose is lower than where your ear is. Yoser godol ma'oris ha'ozen shehem stumi ma'od. They're very closed up, the lights that are coming out of the ears. You can't really see them very well. All you see, as we said before, is this hay. Ki kafi his galos ha'or kach misravim misbar gematria. So he says that as the light is more and more revealed, then as it coming down and being more revealed, as you're going to say, then you have the gematria grows. But we still have to explain what additional light do you get from this chotem. That what's the special quality of this light? What makes it greater? That it's revealed as a 63 all by itself, and you don't have to have any illusions to it. What's the special quality? So we explained previously in Perek Aleph, so there you had a hay, and the hay, you could see that there are parts of it, one part's a dalet, one's part's a vav. And the two of them, a vav, and which is 6, and a dalet, which is 4, make the number 10. But they're hidden in the hay. So like I say, if you take this Iri microscope and you look into it, you can see that the hay actually has these two parts to it. Amnam oris hachotem lo yatsa b'tzuras hay, but the lights that come out of the chotem don't come out in the form of a hay. Elo ha'oz hay shehoisa ad ata, but the letter hay that you had originally that came out of the ears, os achas behelam, that was very, very hidden. Nisgalsa ata b'tzur shtei osio, so now you actually see the two letters separated. This is the concept of distancing that we've talked about before. Now you have the letter Daud and you have the letter Vav. And it looks like this. So now he says you see them both clearly. Below Zu Bilvad, Elo Oz Vav he gam nechleches l'shnei alofim l'shisha alofim, but not just that. If you look closely at the Vav, you would see that there's 6 olives in it. We're going to explain later on. V'kol zehu lahoros, all of this is to show al his galas hayisera sheyeshna be'eser oros yotzim v'nechotim da'ak. This is all to show you that there's much more revelation here, much more you could put your finger on, so to speak, or see, because it's in a lower place. The light is not so overwhelmingly powerful that everything is hidden within it. So originally the lights were hidden just in one letter. But now it's more specific, and you can see the different parts. So now we see what? The letter Daled that was in this Hey originally, Adayim lo nisgalsa. This Daled still is not so clearly seen. Vatam adavar sharak oz vav shebehei nisgal. So what's the reason, he says, why we only really are talking about the vav? That's the part we can really see. Umifnei shaha'esu spheres mischalkim lechamesh partsufim shehem. It's the reason why, he says, because the 10 spheros are really can be divided into 5 partsufim, which are, again, he said them again, Arich, Abba, Ve'ima, Zavanuk. V'ha'aretz Dawid meremezes she'arba partsufim da'arich v'abba ve'ima v'nuk heim behelim. And so that's to tell you, why don't you see the Dawid? It's because there are 5 partsufim, but 4 of the partsufim, which are arich, abba ve'ima, and the nuk, are behelim. Which one is missing? The one that's missing is the one that goes with the letter vav, is Zeranpin. Those vav meremes shehazah, which we're going to start calling Zeranpin zah, is gala. That's to show you that somehow bolate is sticking out from what is hidden is this vav. Somehow the nose, which later we see in Kabbalah has to do with reach, which has to do with your body, which has to do a lot, your spinal cord, all of the kinds of things, is related to the letter vav. The letter vav goes along with the idea of Zeranpin, and we're going to see that more and more. Kiba oz vav. Because in the Vav, there's a remez over there to the 6 spheros that are going to make Zah. As we get into this drush, we go a little bit deeper into it. How is it that we actually see the revelation of the lights of Zah? Kodesh Nizgalo or Hanuk, before you see that there's a light that's going to go to the Nukta Zah. Shahari ba'alma midas hanuk shehi tachtaina mizgalis kodesh mizgala chazah shehulamala memenu. So he says that the bottom level, which is where we live, and the bottom of the bottom of the bottom is revealed before you see the spiritual part. I'm not sure I really understand that, but that's what he said. Let's do a number of vav. There's still a number of vav in this seat, in this part. So at any rate, what he did say is that normally you would see the nuk before you would see the zah, the spiritual part. You would see the physicality. The nuk is more physical. Before you saw the inspiration that's inside of her, let's say, so to speak, which represents your anpin. So let's go to number vav. Sheish hamidus dezah hayotzim menechotem. Now the sheish midos. Now the word mida, which you hear all the time, actually means a measurement. So we know that means a measurement. Is that what it means when we talk about Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yesod? Is that what it means? Because those are the 6 midos. So yeah, that is what it means. Because as the light travels, it travels and it's limited and formed and what's the right way? And nurtured, implanted within it the part of the sphere that it goes through. So that when the light travels through Chesed, it picks up attributes of Chesed, the same with the Gevurah and so on and so forth. It also is his matus of the light. It's limiting the light in a certain way. The word I looked for was shaping. It is shaped by it. Shaped and minimized. So let's see. So he says, Sheish hamidus dezacha yotze minachotim in the halamos ba'os achaz shehivav. So there is 6 different midos there. Now this is some kind of a big time secret, I think. So Ella zu havav mischalekesh l'shisha halochim. But this vav is not, if you looked at it, now look at it in your mind. It's divided into 6 different portions, not just a vav, like a vav, this is basically a line with a little squiggle on the top, right? So basically it's not like that. It's actually, if you looked at it really closely, you would see that it's 6 olives in it. Shehem shisha olofim. B'ofen sheshes hamidus dezah mizgalad b'shesha olofim nifradim. So there are 6 midos. It's not just the letter vav. It's also of 6 olofim separate, each one inside of it. Although we will see and we'll understand how it is. A zer anpin is an entity of 6. We call it chaganai. So we're going to see what that is, but we're going to see how it actually all is all. You can't take one away and it not be Zah. Zah is 6. It's always a 6 like that. So but they're separate. Each one of them is separate parts of the whole. The Hain the Shakal Midim or Remezes Ba'os Aleph Pratis, that each one of the Midos has a reference to an Aleph, a specific Aleph. B'sheshas Alafim Halalu Kolulim Toch Os Vav Zu. Okay, so now I think we go to number Zion, and we have about 4 or 5 minutes left. So number Zion on page Kaf says, V'tama davarhu, what's the reason? The 5 partsufim that are incorporated in the letter Hey, Halohem arich anpin, v'abba v'ima, za v'nog, kanaz. So if he says it 1 billion times, it doesn't hurt, right? Say it over again. So we saw all this in Perek Aleph. So, excuse me, there's another level by which we could describe them, because they can also be known by the name of their lights. The lights are Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chai, Yechida. So this also known as Narantchi. So that is putting them all together in this. So each one of them has a specific light that is associated with it. Chai, Yechida, V'nimsaki, Zah, Ruach Kanoida. So which one of the Narantchi is Zah? Zah is the Ruach. Ruach goes with the letter Vav. I mentioned it earlier. Akasiv Omer, so the Pasuk says like this, Kol Asher Nishmas Ruach Chaim Ba'apav. How about that? Every place that you see that there's a neshama, that it means the panemius of a ruach of life, a ruach Chaim is where? It's in his af. Af is your nose, your nostrils, is in his nostrils. The horos ki bechinas haruach mizgala barapayim shuchachaytim. That's to tell you that as you breathe through your nose, and so as this breathing, because ruach goes with breathing, and so as you see that this ruach is coming out of your nose, that's the place, the chotem, which is this sag, this middle sag that we've been talking about, a little part of the tamim rather, also goes with the concept of ruach. So therefore, in this chotem, now you see a revelation of Zah. And it's divided into its 6 parts. But the Daled, that's one part of the Hey now, which was being completely revealed in the nose. We see the nose, and we got this concept of 6, and we got this concept of a bridge, which is also a concept of above. And we're going to get into this a lot more in the next year. So the Daled, though, that's the other part of the Hey, which is now the same element, the same energy is at a lower stage, which is the Tamim Emseim. It's the middle Tamim now, is now going to be revealed, just the Vav. The Daled is still not going to be revealed. Os Achaz Mechuveris, so it says the Daled Nishara Os Achaz Mechuveris, so it's still stuck onto the Hey, and we're not going to see it come out until we get to the point where we get to the mouth. Aval Os Vav, Nechleches L'Shlosha Alofim. So I think it's probably appropriate to stop here because we're going to get into this. We're going to get a lot deeper. We're going to run into a lot deeper. And we're going to start examining these letters, especially the letter Aleph, because if you remember, the difference between the name Av, and you could look it back, there's one good thing about the Shurim is that they're all on your WhatsApp app. So you could always go back and listen to a shir and see it again. But it doesn't matter. We just keep going forward anyway. We'll listen and we'll learn the language of the Rav. Here we have a greater revelation of light, of form rather, of physicality. Things are becoming more physical as we go down. And now we're going to start learning about the difference between Av and Sag. is that in the letter Vav, which we're talking about right now, there's different ways you can spell it. In Av, you spell it Vav, Yud Vav. That really refers to Chochmah, because Chochmah is a Yud, it's a dot. So we'll see how about that. But Sag, which really is a lower level and refers to more to Bina, so that's going to be Vav, Aleph Vav. So there's going to be an Aleph in it. It's going to be the same letters, Yud Vav Dalet, K Yud, Vav Aleph Vav, K Yud. So instead of Vav Yud Vav, it's Vav Aleph Vav. Makes a difference in the number. Take 72 and subtract 9 from it, because there's 9 missing from the Yud. It's just an Aleph, and therefore you have 63. Okay, well, that's all for today. Thank you very much for listening.